Hi, this is Robert to show you a demo that with using Node-RED installing gateway, and there is a Siemens S7200 Smart connect to the gateway with using Node-RED to read the data from the PLC with using S7 protocol to get the data and send the data to the AWS IoT core with using 4G or 5G. This is the computer that I'm using now. The screen that you can see. This is the computer that I'm using, and I will use a task tool to change the value of the PLC to show the demonstration. This is the steps. First, we need to install S7 node from the Node-RED because we need to use S7 protocol to communicate with Siemens PLC. Let's start the Node-RED first. Log in the gateway and start the Node-RED. Finally, I will write a function to format the data in a specific JSON format to upload it to the AWS IoT. The Node-RED is starting. Okay, it started. Then let's log in the Node-RED canvas. It is wrong IP. Okay, let me change the language. First, you need to install S7 node. You can go to settings, manage palette installed. You can search here S7. Okay, the node S7 node has been already installed. The name is Node-RED contrib S7. When you want to install it, you can go to install and search node. This is the one. It's installed. Okay, once you install it, you can find the node here with using this node S7 in. So after you install the S7 node, as the topology, you can see you need to connect the PLC to the gateway. The PLC use Ethernet cable for communication, so connect the PLC to gateway with the Ethernet cable. Go to the gateway web UI to check to make sure the the PLC is connected to the gateway. You can use the tools to pin the IP address of PLC. This is the PLC IP address. The PLC is reachable. You can also go to the network LAN status to check the connected devices. This is the PLC. This is the laptop that I'm using. And then you configure S7 node, add a PLC, input the IP address of PLC. The data that I gonna read is from rack 0 and the slot 1. The cycle time and timer time, I leave it default. And in variables, I want to read the address is db1 R4. Let's name it S7 endpoint. Because I only edit one variable, so the mode is single variables. If you have several multiple variable, then you can use the all variables, and the variable will use S7 endpoint. Then click done. So the S7 endpoint is configured. Then let's test if the S7 node from node array, if it can read the real PLC, the data from the PLC. Deploy. There actually this is actually the value. That means it communicate with the PLC properly. You can also drag the debug in the canvas to see the output value. The value from from my PLC, the rack 0 and slot 1, and the address from the PLC is static in 0. I'm gonna use a test tool to change the value. This is the test tool. Input the IP address of PLC. I can connect it because the PLC and the laptop is in a same local area network, so I can reach the PLC, so that I can use the test tool to connect to the PLC. The address is db1. The byte of the address It's for and it is floating. It is floating data. As you can see, the bot output the data properly. Here is a configuration that only when value changes, the data output when only when value changes, because it's checked. So only when value change, it will output the data. If you uncheck it, it will output every second. So I prefer to output the data only when value changed. So the S7 node communicated with the PLC is working fine. Our target is to report the data, the S7 data to the AWS IoT. So we need to, I'm going to use the MQTT to report the data. Okay, I'm going to configure the MQTT in the step 6. Next step, let's create things in the AWS IoT platform. This is the AWS IoT platform, and we're gonna use AWS IoT core. Go to all devices, things, create things. For demo, I just create single things. Input the name, no rate thing. I'm gonna leave it default and use no shadow. I will use uh, recommended solution to let the AWS IoT generate the certificate for me. In here, you need to select the policy. I have already created one. If you don't have any policy, you need to create policy. By default, we set it allow, and use this action. This action means any. Also any here. In POC test, it's convenient for you to do testing, but in production environment, I would suggest you to use specific permission for the production environment, for the safety concern. Then select the policy that you just created. Oops, there looks a network issue. Check. Hold on, let me check the network. I will come back later.